My numbers are going way down super fast. We could talk about that.
Let's talk about it. What do you mean when you say your numbers are going down super fast?
So I was reaching, earlier this summer on Instagram, I was reaching about over 1 million, about 1.1 million, or about around 1 million
accounts,
new accounts each over the last 30 days is how it and so today I just checked it and it's 380,000, I think. Okay.
So this is all new information to me.
Yeah.
You're not as much, looking at your follower count. And are we talking about Instagram specifically?
I'm talking about Instagram specifically.
Okay. So you're not as much talking about or watching your follower count or your views. You're looking at how many accounts you're reaching.
Well, I look at all of it. That's just one. Cause I'm not just like followers, all that stuff is just slowed way down. So I'm almost to 75,000 followers on Instagram,
which is pretty, that's great.
Which is fantastic.
I know from working with the clubs, like Instagram followers are kind of the metric that they're looking at right now. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But I think I hit 70. Oh gosh, I think it was a month ago, maybe, or something. I forget. I'd have to look. I don't have it in front of me right now, but it's just everything is just slowed way down. And so, that's always unsettling. And
well, I was looking at some of your videos recently. It looks like you're still getting a lot of views.
It's just much more sporadic, I feel like.
What do you mean?
And so I did have a video that had over 400,000 views.
Yeah.
On Instagram. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was it was actually one that I posted last summer. I reposted it.
Wow.
Me in the woods. Or no, it's the one on the bike. I'm on the bike.
That's a great one.
Yeah. So I think I'm learning. I've known this, but just the more visual I can make it, the better they are. The more full body shots, doing more active things. The dancing ones do really well. I haven't done one of those in a while. So, but by and large, as a whole, everything is just slowing down. And so it can just be unsettling and nerve wracking. And you're just I guess we've had a good run, but how do you respond to that? That's something that's been on the forefront of my mind lately.
Okay, so your views, they're good. You're experiencing them differently.
They're trending in the wrong direction is maybe the way I would say it. Is that they're slowing down, and you're just it was 400,000 a couple weeks ago or a week ago maybe, and now it was at 370.
That's your accounts you're hitting.
Yeah, how many I've reached in the last 30 days. Yeah. Okay. So it went from 1.1 million, and then it's just been 750, 650, 6, 5.
How does it make you feel that because we collaborated on a post this week, my numbers are going up?
Hey, that's great. That's good.
Just a little humor for you.
A little comic relief. Appreciate that.
A little comedy. That's just what we do.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. So you're first, if you don't know Chris, it is amazing that he is even talking about this because the fact that you are just, your career is just wrapped so tightly into something that in previous years you have, I don't even know how to say this. You're not the most technologically savvy person I've ever met.
That's a fair assessment.
In fact, you have repeatedly, incorrectly posted.
Yeah.
Something that we're working on. Once you posted a show that we were on together, but the link you posted, you could not click on.
Mm-hmm.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Another time you posted a video of mine, but you didn't mention me. That was awesome.
Yep, that was an
And then
accident.
the other day, we were promoting our show coming up on September 24th at the Looney Bin, and I just posted a story and tagged you. I said, just repost it.
Yep.
That's all we want. And you reposted it 2 times.
I thought you said I did it 3 times. I don't even know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured out a way to screw that one up too.
I mean, I guess he kind of made it better. People are like, oh, I guess he really wants to.
He really wants to get the word out about this.
But I just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The technical side of it. I enjoy like the analytics side.
You like the metrics. Yeah. That's
cool.
The
metrics I think are fun to look at and kind of strategize and stuff like that. But yeah, just like the actual like technology of the latest apps and the latest things. I'm just, it's too hard for me to keep up with.
Does Lisa help you? Lisa's his wife, if you don't know.
Lisa help you? She used to, but now I just do all the posting.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just easier. I can get kind of particular about what it says. And
do you feel like you're having, so your views are going, your reach going down. Mm-hmm. 2 questions. Do you think you know why? And 2, is it affecting other areas of your business?
I don't think that thankfully, I don't think it's affected. Like my Cameo numbers are still steady. But I don't. Yeah, I would imagine eventually it will definitely. If I'm not reaching as many people, then it'll eventually, fizzle out. So, yeah. I mean the why it's happening. The only thing I can think is just people are getting tired of it, or, which I understand. I feel like that's kind of how it works, though, and maybe I'm wrong, but it seems like to me, you find something that works, and then you just keep working that thing. Which, as an artist, that kind of I don't love that because I want to like try new things or whatever, do new stuff. But the algorithm, I feel like, really wants you to be a constant, steady thing. And when you deviate from that, it usually feels like it punishes you. So
what?
So I guess that's the question: is what do I just keep doing the same thing? I would like to add some new characters and all that, but I think I have some ideas and things I'd like to do as far as like sketches or just changing up the format of some things, maybe bringing a little bit more variety to it. But I feel like that would probably be for like a different platform or something like YouTube or something. Okay.
What?
Okay, that's fine.
Sorry, everything fell apart suddenly. You're watching it.
I'm seeing, what is that? Your door?
Camera, and then
just fell off.
It just fell apart. Okay. The tripod that it was on just fell over.
Yeah.
All right, we'll just do this. How's this? It's better? Yeah. Okay, so Gary, can you solve Chris's problem for him?
Yeah. It's pretty easy. Just delete your accounts.
Okay, that's great. Okay, that's good. That'll be an option. We can talk. That's an option.
Yeah. So is it just like if I keep doing the same thing, and when I say keep doing the same thing, I just mean like keep consistently posting
Stevens videos.
Yeah. At what point does it like everybody be like, yeah, I've seen it, and like as far as grand total of how many different people have actually seen this stuff, I doubt I've reached. I don't know. I feel like I still have just only scratched the surface of who all is on Instagram. I mean, how many billion people are on Instagram?
A lot of people. There are a lot of people on Instagram that's confirmed.
Okay. So it feels like,
Yeah.
Well, just narrow it down to English speaking,
yeah,
just to be realistic.
Yeah,
that's true.
And that cuts it down, 10%.
but still a lot of people
less.
is what I'm going to say. I still think it's a lot of people.
Yeah. So the other thing I haven't tried yet, I've not done this yet, but you can pay to boost your posts. I felt like whenever people see my posts, there's a certain percentage of them that like my posts and enjoy them and become fans. So there's part of me that wonders if if it's time to like maybe start boosting some stuff and trying to just get some more reach that way. I don't know. That's always kind of a slippery slope, but
How is this making you feel?
I feel better this week.
Oh, you were getting down.
I don't know that I would say I was getting down. I was maybe just getting nervous or scared is probably the way I would feel, or the way I did feel.
Yeah.
Just feeling like, well, I just moved into our new house last
to which
week.
Gary and I, generously gave of
That's
our
right.
time to move you
guys
into.
helped me move.
I think that we should talk
I mean,
about
I do
that.
think lumping you and Gary into the same level of help, I think, is a little bit of a disservice to Gary.
I think no. I mean, help is help. Gary got there about 4 hours before me,
And you were doing business deals on the phone while there.
Wait,
This is my impersonation of Adam helping me move. No, yeah, I mean, I could be there. That would be fine. We could do that. Yeah, I'm just helping Chris move. Yeah,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, we'll just schedule it for Thursday. That's great. Okay. Yeah.
I remember that. And then the time a neighbor you recognized came by.
Oh yeah, and the neighbor that came by that
I hadn't seen it. It was an old friend. I hadn't seen her in like 10 years. I would say you guys were rude for not stopping to talk to her.
I did talk to her. Sarah, what's up? It was good to see you.
Yep.
No, it's fine. It's funny.
No, that is funny though. I did take a phone call, didn't I?
I just remember one time like
Doesn't
walking
matter.
out of my garage and you were standing on the phone talking, and there was other people like going up and down the ramp lifting things.
Was it on Wednesday?
We moved last
doing
Wednesday, almost a week ago.
Wednesday. Okay. Yeah, I think it was. Oh, yeah. I know it was. We bought a duplex, and we were.
No,
yeah, it was. A little,
I wasn't offended.
Hey, just a little.
So it was funny.
No,
You guys
that's
closed
true.
yet?
We did. We bought a
Nice.
duplex. Yeah, it's done. In fact, after this episode, we're gonna run down there. My father-in-law is you guys know, but he's a home builder or was. He's retired now, but so he's just gonna come look at it with us. He owns a bunch of duplexes
Awesome.
now, and that's his retirement. But yeah, we're pretty excited. We got a really good deal on it. It's on our street, so kind of working on
So
it.
good.
And even managing it is a little easier than if it was like, in another part of town. So, and then we're going to be renting it out. So if you're listening and you want to live on
I think
Midtown
we just
Tulsa,
lost listeners when you said you bought a duplex.
probably so.
Like, who are
Wait,
these?
why?
Is this a financial
Chris
investment?
bought a house. Adam bought a duplex. Guys, I just bought a car.
That's right.
We're supposed to be struggling artists.
Yeah. So
That's what
Chris
it
is talking
takes,
about
though.
moving into
That's
a
what
new
it takes.
house.
Like, you have to push yourself out there. Get inside the real estate game, okay?
That's a good segue to ask someone. So we're if you're listening to this, we're doing a show at the Looney Bin Comedy Club in Tulsa on the 24th of September, and Chris is performing as some of his characters. And someone asked, "Are you gonna do MLM Chad?"
Yeah. I mean, I think I have to. Or I want to.
I think you do
I
too.
want to. It's really just figuring out the goatee. That's the challenge. Just what am I going to do?
I think ultimately people just care about the voice.
That's
and
what
the
I was going to say. I think it would be better to just do
paisley shirt.
Yeah, just wear the shirt. I mean, the tan is a big part of it too. I don't know that I could. Yeah. Maybe I could do a little bit of a quick just throw some bronzer on my forehead.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Chad would be a lot of fun to do, and I think I could kind of get the crowd involved and stuff. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I intend to. Do Chad. Right.
Yeah, I bet it'll be there. I bet it'll be there. So and intention really is where
that's all that matters. Really, is just intending to do something.
Yeah, our friend. I hope she's okay with me telling this story. Our friend Abby was over at the house last night, and she said that she had an old boyfriend who once said to her, like at the end of the day, "I thought about buying you flowers today," but then he didn't do it. She was like, "Okay, so you thought about it. It's not even that it didn't happen. Like it's not that like." You didn't think about it. It's that you thought about it and you intentionally decided not to.
Yeah, I think I've been guilty of making statements like that to my wife too. It's like, oh, I was gonna bring you lunch today. It didn't work out. It's like you want them to know, hey, I was thinking about you today, but I didn't. Yeah, not enough to actually act on it though.
Thought about you.
Not enough to move into action.
Not at the top of my priority list.
Oh my goodness, Chris! That's amazing.
It may have been flowers. Actually, I can't remember what it was. It's been many years ago, but I feel like I've done that before. I'm like, oh, I thought about XYZ, whatever. Wasn't able to do it.
How did she respond? She's like, oh, that makes me feel good.
I don't think it was that. I don't think it was that response.
We should change this. Yeah. Anyway, we could go on and on about the dumb decisions we've made with our spouse. I once, what did I get, Di? Early on in our marriage, I don't know what it was. It was for one of our first birthdays and one of us being married. And I didn't really say happy birthday in the morning. And I might have, but I didn't give her a present. Yeah. I don't know why. I thought I'm going to give it to her later. And then I gave her a coupon that I bought or like a voucher for having the house cleaned.
Oh, yeah.
Like
it's her responsibility that she's getting to not have to do.
Yeah. And it was like from Groupon. And granted, I didn't have a lot of money. But also, my wife is incredibly meticulous. She doesn't specifically want somebody else cleaning the house. She wants to clean the house because she wants to do it her way, and it's for us an incredibly unthoughtful gift.
Yeah,
yeah. She also had to ask for it. She was kind of like, "Are you going to give me a present today?" So that was a good one. I did a good job there. Now she's just, most of our friends know this. Now she just has a running list that is online that I don't guess anymore.
You just go to the list.
It's never gonna. I go to the list. I buy it. She's very happy.
That's good.
Is there like an auto ship? It's just whatever's next on the list is going to show up.
That is a really good idea.
You don't even have to think about it.
It's like it just comes, and then I'm just saying, "Yeah, I got that for you."
Yeah, it's from me.
Kind of. Yeah, it's from me, from our account, from me to you. Yeah. So Chris, what does it feel like to like my Instagram and TikTok obviously aren't as big as yours, nor do I do cameos. I mean, all my shows they come from different means. So I'm not tethered to that sort of thing. How are you feeling about that?
Yeah, I feel encouraged by this thought that I think I want it to be easy. I want it to just happen. Like, and I think what I was reminded of this week was just like, anything worthwhile isn't going to be easy. And so it was kind of almost like a, I don't know if you want to call it a call, but like a call to the challenge of like, okay, so my numbers are dropping. How am I going to respond to that? And it doesn't change the way what I believe about my abilities or my gifts, or what I feel like God's put in my heart to do. It's just like, what do I trust? I can't control the Instagram algorithm. I can't control TikTok. I can, obviously strategize and do my best to kind of produce content that is meaningful to me or that I think is funny, and hope that other people think it's funny too. But that's about all I can control. And so worrying about, what's going on with this, or how, I don't know, the internet is filled with all kinds of people who act like they have the answers. And it seems like the more you dive into it, the more confusing and less control you realize that you actually have. And God only knows how these algorithms work. So I just look at it like my ultimate trust and my ultimate comfort and my ultimate peace doesn't come from what my numbers are doing on Instagram or what my numbers are doing on TikTok. It comes to me from a rest and a confidence in that I feel like I'm being obedient to God, and He's guiding and directing my path. And so it might just be harder than I want it to be. And there's an awesome quote by C.S. Lewis where he talks about the trouble typically isn't in believing that God is good or He has good things in mind for you. The trick is in embracing, or let's say coming to grips with how painful God's goodness might be. And I it's kind of where I'm at, is going like, I want it to be super easy. I want my numbers to just keep exploding or keep going and everything just work. And so it's kind of disappointing in that way. You're just like, I thought this was just going to keep ramping up. And for all I know, it might still. But what's probably happening is it's just now I'm having to pivot a little bit, or now I'm going to have to just do a little bit more work. And what's exciting to me is like it might push me into some new ideas, some new things that I will really enjoy. So I'm trying to just look at it that way. It's like, okay, maybe I just need to lean into my creativity and open my brain, open my mind to other possibilities, and so.
Yeah. Well, I do think it's interesting that, like, from with the job we used to have, we weren't responsible for like a return.
Yeah, right.
It's kind of weird to say. Yeah, like we just had a job to do, and somebody else asked us to do it, and it's just like, if we did the job, that was succeeding. Especially if we did it well.
We didn't have to worry about growing the organization or anything like that. Yeah.
Right. Somebody else thought about that. Yeah, that's really good. And now you're like specifically making decisions, and that you then have to follow up to see if there's any sort of return on that. Mm-hmm. If it was a good decision, and it's kind of solely on you and Lisa. Totally.
But there's other things that I've wanted to do that, obviously the live show has been, I've been talking about that for a year and a half of like, I think this fall that we'll start ramping up some more. I also think I need to put a little bit more effort into just booking acting jobs or booking like commercials and things like that. I've done very little in the way of promoting myself in any of those circles or any of that kind of stuff. And so I don't have an agent. I just talk to
You're not even on there are 3 main sites. You're not on those. I've
done literally zero. I just get all of that stuff through my friends. And so it's like, Well, if I put a little more effort into that, get an agent, all that kind of stuff, then that could be a nice income stream as well. So it's just opening my brain, opening my mind to what are some other possibilities and some things. And again, like I said, my what do you call them? Cameo numbers have been great. My Cameo numbers have still remained fine. And I'm even about to launch and do it on my own. And so that should be financially a much better situation for me. So there's a tension and it's just scary because you're like, oh, I guess people don't care about me anymore. It's kind of the way it feels. Or they don't care about me as much as they used to or whatever. But I have to just remind myself that.
Chris, can you turn your gain up on that mic? I can't hear you very well.
Let's see. Want me just to repeat what I just said?
Just while you're pouring your heart out.
Check 1 2 check. Is that better? No?
Yeah.
Well, you're talking closer to it.
So check 1 2.
I could hear you fine.
Oh wait, output.
Gary, have you considered turning your volume
check 1 2
up?
check.
I hear you, check. I don't see his levels very well.
Check 1 2 1 2. Is that getting louder? Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 2 2 2 2.
Seems about the same. But
these knobs aren't.
I thought it was louder.
Knobs aren't doing anything.
Well, sounded good to me, but maybe I'm wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. So what were you saying at the end there before Gary interrupted you?
I was just saying that in a very roundabout way.
Now you're so loud.
Now I can hear it. Have you tried turning your speakers down, Adam?
I'm gonna title this episode "Too Loud, Chris."
Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2. Does that sound about right?
Yeah, it's fine. It sounds the same.
Maybe
as
I was
before.
Just mumbling. Okay, so what I was saying in a roundabout way, very long-winded way, was that I have to come to grips with the nature of show business, the nature of all this stuff is always evolving. It's always like there's always ebbs and flows. Mm-hmm. So I have to be okay with that and trusting that ultimately, as a Christ follower, my confidence and my peace and my joy comes from Christ and trusting that he guides and directs my path. And my job is to put my hand, to be faithful with what's been put in my hand and to continue to serve and grow and use my gifts. So that's what I intend to do. And so I'm excited in one, and it's scary in one hand. On the other side of the coin, to mix my metaphors, it is exciting in some ways because I go, okay, what new thing could be birthed out of this? What new thing will this drive me to? Because it's funny, I was thinking about this the other day. I was just like, after Steven took off, and Chad did pretty well. Like, what new things have I done? It's like nothing. So it's like, when I was first starting this thing, there was a lot of just like, what should I do? What could I there was all these kind of I'm trying new things. And so I'm excited about, trying some different stuff and what that exactly will be. I don't know yet, but.
You got complacent, Chris.
Maybe so. I don't know. I was just trying to do it. I was just trying to serve the algorithm.
No, that's good. And I think that's a big deal. I over the last month started posting so much, almost every day. I had just all these shows that I had done. I had a bunch of clips, and it started going really well, and my numbers started going up. But then, I think I was just overloading my account with, and I was actually going to ask you about this. I would get a video that would just get a few hundred views, and I'm like, this video is not any worse than any other video, but it was just it doesn't want a video Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Is that because I know you post about 4 times a week.
Yeah, three to 4 times. I try to do every other day. Okay. But I've been tempted to go like, well, maybe I need to do every day. And if you look at like what most people say is they say, do it every day, post every day. And don't try to watch the numbers too much. Just try to like be consistent, and eventually like it'll pay off to post that often. The algorithm is learning about you and like, okay, this person's serious, and they'll start putting your stuff out more or whatever. But
do you even like this part of it? Like, you love acting and performing, but like this is, and granted, it has served you well, but like, do you like doing this?
That's an interesting.
Like what I mean is posting on social
media.
The
technology side of it took me a little while, and I obviously still haven't mastered it, but it's like, it was really just like stressing me out of just like, I don't know how to get it to make the link work or whatever, all that stupid stuff. It was not fun. I didn't enjoy that part of it. I enjoy the creative side of it, and I really enjoy what I love about it is that it's an opportunity to connect with people like literally all over the world. Which is really cool. Meaningful to me, and like interacting with people through messages or whatever is someone's at my house is meaningful to me, and I enjoy that side of it. It's the people side of it. What I don't love about it is just like my stuff is typically I'm shooting it alone, which is which isn't my favorite. Like, I like coming up with ideas and talking about the ideas, and I really enjoy executing the ideas, but it's more fun when there's your friends on set with you and you're all laughing about ideas or whatever, instead of just me by myself talking to a camera in my backyard. But
it's interesting just like hearing you talk about just like how significant social media is. So you guys know this weekend, actually the last 2 weekends, I opened up for Dustin Nickerson, our friend, the comedian.
I didn't hear about how the Oklahoma City show went.
It was great. Yeah. So to catch everybody up to speed, had a big show in Tulsa. It was solid. It was at the Bricktown Comedy Club in Tulsa, which is new. And my first time to perform there is big, nice club. Mm-hmm. You guys were there. And we didn't sell out, but we were pretty close. Like we had a great crowd. There were a couple hundred people there, more than that. And it was great. And it was at 4:00, which was so unique. And we did the show and then we were done. And then the guys that invited me, it was Dustin Nickerson and Steven Rogers, both comics we've had on the pod and whom I love and are hilarious. They invited me to come open for them the next weekend in Oklahoma City at Bricktown. We had about the same crowd, so it was great. But we got to hang out afterwards, which was awesome. And we got to talk comedy, and it was just kind of a chiller vibe. Just at the Tulsa show, they had a show immediately after ours, so they kind of kicked us out pretty quickly. They didn't at this one.
That's great.
we had time to hang out. And it's interesting you're talking about social media because I talked to those guys about it a lot. I asked them kind of my main overarching question was, you've seen my set, we know each other somewhat. What advice do you have? And I don't know how much this applies to you, Chris, on the acting side, but they're like, Adam, you do a good job of posting clips and you do a good job of capturing them and they look good. But don't forget to kill every time. And they kind of told me about their writing. I mean, they spend a significant amount of every day writing new material. And he said, Steven told me this specifically. He said, your biggest breaks or jobs are going to come from people seeing you out there. So make sure that you're killing when they see that. And they said all that. And Steven even said, the only reason they've both been doing it about 11 years, I believe. He said, the only reason I even post reels is it's just part of the job now, but it is not my goal. I just want to be a live stand-up comedian. And so they said all that, and then at the end, Dustin did say, but then again, Taylor Tomlinson posted a clip on YouTube, and who was it that saw it and took her on the road? It was either Gaffigan or Brian Regan, one of the two. I can't remember. He's like, so, not everyone's story.
Yeah.
Just saying, everybody has a different story. And granted, I don't live in New York.
Right.
I don't live in Chicago or LA. So I've accepted that social media is a big part of getting out there. But it does not change the fact that the more important thing, and I think this would pertain to you, the more important thing is writing good content. Right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what we talk about is I want to keep doing good content. That's the most important thing, consistently. And but that's the thing. It's just like, well, what is good content? And it's like, well, does it just run its course? And then you need to find something else new. There's a guy, I forget what his name is, but he has, I think, 700 and something thousand followers on TikTok.
Dollars.
Maybe 1 million on Instagram. I don't know. I mean, it's just ton. And but it's essentially the same joke. The whole shtick is the way your oldest child, your middle child, and your youngest child would handle a situation. And so it's literally that same joke every time, and it's just different situations. The way they open their Halloween candy, the way they eat breakfast, the way brush their teeth. Like, it's just all these different scenarios, and it's like, and I remember the first time I discovered this guy, I think he started following me, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But my first thought was just like, oh, is that all that he does? Like, it was confusing to me that you could amass that kind of following when it's literally just kind of it's not that it's essentially the same core joke every time.
Yeah.
And at first it was a little off-putting to me. Like, I was just like, I can't, why is this so popular? But then you realize I'm just like, the people, it's all new people seeing it all the time. Like, it's constantly being shown to new people.
Yep.
So it's no different than a comedian going from one club to the next club to the next club to the next club. It's just like
the same show.
It's you said the same thing in Oklahoma City that you said in Tulsa. Well, of course, because it's a whole new audience. So that's like a lot of that's how social media works. From what I've understood is that the same people aren't seeing your videos every time. I mean, there is some of that, but so it's just a difficult thing to navigate because you're just like, well, how much variety do I do, and how much of it is like, man, keep doing the thing that everybody loves, because when you do that, it brings in more people. Well, it's just like, well, the people that already know you, they've seen Steven 10, 15 times and they're over it. So
sorry, my alarm. I think I've mentioned this on the pod before, but Seinfeld still does a lot of his old jokes, and I don't know where I heard him say, or somebody said somebody quoted him and just said that he's just going to do his best stuff. And they're like, but people have seen it. And he's like, how many people do you think have seen my set? There are billion people out there. Like, not like, and he's one of the most popular comedians of all time. So,
well, I would consider myself a Seinfeld fan, but I guarantee you there's tons of jokes that I've not heard that he probably wrote 15 years ago.
Well, the last time I saw him, I mean, he did. I mean, his Halloween candy bit, or Halloween is not candy. Halloween candy is the one just like, kids will do whatever it takes to get more candy. It's just like people, and like on Halloween, people are just giving it away. I can't remember all the jokes, so I'm of course butchering it. Regardless, the important part is that bit is so old. I have heard it many times. I heard it again,
Still laugh.
And I loved it.
It's great.
It's great. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. That's a little aside, about that, but yeah. Well, so what do you have any idea what you're going to do from here? What are you going to try?
One of the things I keep been talking about this. I've been so focused on my house and all this kind of stuff for the last few weeks here that I feel like I haven't put as much energy into like creating new things. But I would like to try doing some like live interactions, like doing some live calls as some of my characters, like on Instagram. I think could be fun.
Live call.
I think that could be
that's
fun.
fun.
I'd like to. I think I'm going to start posting stand-up bits.
What?
Ooh, risky.
What do you think of that?
Chris is doing the teeth emoji currently.
I had someone recently request that, and I was like, that's actually not a bad idea.
I'm just going to ask you, where is this footage coming from?
I've got stuff.
You do, really. And I don't.
I think I think I have a comedy special, not a special, a comedy show that you never sent me the footage of that we did together.
So he was
How do you even know if I still have it? I don't know. What did you say, Gary?
So he was hoping you would have some footage of him somewhere.
I'm just saying, as I do more stuff.
No, I think that's a great idea. I'm making fun of you, but I would like to take it back because I think it's a good idea.
Just posting more stand-up stuff just to kind of maybe further round out my brand a little bit of like.
Hey, you know what? You could post that clip of that Tig Notaro joke that you accidentally told on stage.
When I stole a Tig Notaro joke by accident? I like to just think we're on the same wavelength and we came up with the same joke.
Joke or whole bit.
I was so disappointed when I figured out that was her bit. I was so.
The short version of this story is that Chris did this amazing bit about. Now I can't even remember.
Your kids being.
Oh, it's the whole thing about. Would you believe they're 16 or something like that? They're 16 years old. Can you believe it? Can you believe that? Yeah, I think I can. I think I can believe it. I think I can wrap my mind around that idea. Kids grow.
It was a strong bit.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I was so excited. And it worked really well. I did it. I was like, this is awesome.
It did work so well.
And then I don't know even how I found out. Did you tell me or some?
It was our friend Abby. Shout out again to Abby on this one episode. Abby texted the clip of Tig Notaro doing it a long time ago on Conan, and she goes, "Did Chris blatantly steal this bit?" And then what was your response? You said, I
watched the clip of Tig Notaro, I was like, I've seen this before. And I was just like, like years ago, I'm just like, I know I've seen that before. And it just, out of my subconscious, it came back up.
Oh, my Lord.
Man,
oh, that is, and it's hilarious for me and so disappointing because that was a solid few minutes that you lost.
Like a little bit.
I mean, some would say you never had it, but
me and Lisa wrote it. I can tell. I mean, I remember we sat right there and we're like, and it was a little bit different, but it was primarily the exact same idea and joke. And so
it wasn't different enough to be like, oh yeah, we both have a similar bit.
It was clearly like the same vantage point, and just the verbiage was a little bit different. But yeah, very disappointing.
Yeah, and oh man, that is funny because it's not uncommon. Di and I were like talking one night, and I said, "Hey, the cashier at Panda Express said, do I want to round up my change for a nonprofit? Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Like donate it."
And I was like, what's a nonprofit? And they said, it's for, what was the way that she said it? She said, it's for cancer. Obviously, she means cancer research, cancer treatment, whatever. But just saying for cancer, I don't want to. You can come in. Diana's coming in too. I'm going to show this on the pod.
It tastes good. It just
So,
Oh no!
Is it okay if I show this? So while we were sitting here, sorry if you're just listening to this, my wife Diana, she just walked in and handed me a sandwich, half of a sandwich. She texted me, "Do you want a grilled cheese that she burned?" she said it
lovingly burned it for you.
So she wants you to have it just because she only could eat half of a sandwich, not because she knows you like
my wife can only eat half of a
sandwiches.
Yeah. You're gonna take he can. Walter, go outside. My dog is in here now. Thanks, hon. Yeah, but anyway, I was like, I was writing a joke. It's like, is this funny? Like, I'm not looking to give money to cancer to, help them continue, help cancer,
really
to support cancer
faster.
And she goes, one of the open micers wrote that joke at the last one I went to with you. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're right. They did. Yeah. So had she not been there?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I don't like to watch a ton of stand up for that very reason.
Oh, really?
I just feel like this is so Nate Bargatze has a whole bit about his wife mowing the yard. And I reference that. Okay. I've been referencing that in my set about how Lisa mows the yard. I taught my girls about their monthly cycle, and my wife taught the kids how to mow the yard.
Is that the same joke?
It's not the same joke, but the premise of his wife mowing the yard and he doesn't, and he's talking about how she can't. He's like, okay, that's fine, you can mow the yard, but you have to tell all the neighbors that you want to mow the yard, so that everybody else is like, this guy. Are you the guy that makes his wife mow the yard?
That's funny. Yeah. Well, honestly, I think I don't know. It might be Dustin Nickerson has a bit about the zoo.
Yeah.
Someone I know has a bit about the zoo.
He referenced the zoo in his set at the show.
At the show. Yeah, and I thought, okay, yeah, I mean, that happens. And honestly, there's some guys around town who have similar bits as me, or vice versa. And when we do shows together, we'll say, you want to do that bit, or I won't, we will make it because that is kind of weird. Especially I've heard people who have like closers. Yeah. They have a closer in that, because if you don't know, they're really hard to come up with. If they have a closer that somebody else has a similar joke, they'll say, will you not do that joke? Because that's my closer. Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think the moral of this story is that, probably call the episode comedy and social media or something, or the problem with social media and comedy, because it's tricky, but it is where what we live. It is the experience we are in right now.
Well, the power of it is so much. I mean, I did a show where were we at, in Kentucky with you, Adam, and took us a day to get there. Actually, we flew in that day, then we had to drive, stay the night. Then we did the show, I think, the next day.
Oh, yeah.
It was at that school or whatever it was. Yep. And it was just like, and then we flew back the next day. It was just like 2.5 days of travel, and we performed in front of like 100 people or 150 people. It's just like, I can post a video that I shot in my backyard. Took me an hour to put it together or whatever. And 500,000 people see it. You're just like, what's the better use of my time here? So there's like a power of it, which is amazing. But there's not a lot of control there too. So it's just tricky.
Yeah, and you know it's crazy. What you're explaining, all the difficulty of getting that placing. I love it so much.
Oh yeah,
I know it takes. I know it takes a lot of time. I
thoroughly enjoyed it. My point was though that just like, what's the most efficient use of my time?
No, you're right. Yeah. No, I get that.
So.
Yep, I get it. I totally get it. Well, why don't we end there? We got a couple of shows coming up. This episode is posting this week, so we can talk about this. First is Chris and I are performing in. I've got
Kingman, Kansas. Kingman, Kansas.
What is it called? Kingman, like a king and a man.
Kingman, isn't that right?
Kingman. Okay. No, you're telling.
I just said it, but now you got me. You're
town.
saying it like you've never heard that before.
I've just never heard it said. I didn't actually know.
It's just west of Wichita,
where it was.
Yeah, Kingman.
Oh yeah, at the Kingman Historic Theater. We're performing there on September 9th at 7:30 p.m. And you can get tickets.
Yeah, it's a fundraiser.
Actually, it's a fundraiser.
Yeah, they're doing it's a fundraiser for a nonprofit.
Is it a fundraiser for cancer?
It's cancer. Yeah, it's sponsored. It's sponsored by cancer.
Okay.
Just to help cancer get its message out.
We're just wanting to raise awareness.
Cancer wants everyone to know it's coming for you.
Yeah, just to reach the people is what. Yeah, is what. We're after. We want to support. So anyway, if you're on the area, I don't know where Kingman is,
but if you're around the area, or for all of our Wichita listeners,
okay,
this would be a great opportunity for you to come see me and Adam.
Yeah, if you want, you can go to my Instagram and click on the link and
or go to my Instagram and click on the link. I reposted what you posted. When did
you post it? Did you? It's gonna be gone.
No, I did. It's on my. It's on my posts. It's not a. It's not a story.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. Well, just go to either of our Instagrams and you'll. Hey, Adam Bush or Chris Bunch Comedy. And you can buy a ticket there. And then the big one, and this is our sponsor, we're sponsored by the Looney Bin Comedy Club in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm stoked. We've got great shows happening in the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024. One big show is Chris is headlining on September 24th. It's a Sunday night. It's at 6 o'clock. And you can get tickets for $12 by going to looneybincomedy.com. Click on the Tulsa tab. And I am opening the show. Actually, we have an opener, and then I'm middling, and you're headlining. And but you should come to that. And then you should go to looneybincomedy.com and check out all their awesome headliners. A couple of headliners that are coming up that I'm really excited about are Greg Warren, who just had a special come out with Nateland Entertainment. We got Brian Bates and Steven Rogers is coming back to Looney Bin. So a lot of great comics are coming. So anyway, but if you call ahead on a Wednesday night, reserve a ticket, and you work in the service industry, you get a discounted ticket. If you call on Thursday night, it's ladies' night, you'll get a discounted ticket. So tell them Biscuit for the Biscuit sent you there. Yeah, thanks to our sponsor. And we're, of course, sponsored by Northern Creative, Gary's company, video production, animation, editing, cinematography. You can check out his work at northern.work. Hire him. He'll go to Beirut for you.
Yep.
I've seen him do it.
Did recently. Yeah. You've seen him? Well, you've not
I've
seen
heard
him
he did it.
You've heard he
I've
did
not seen
it.
the footage yet. That's true.
We can't confirm.
We
cannot confirm whether he was there.
There's photos. I have photo evidence.
Okay. That's good. That's true. All right. This episode is probably going to be titled Gary Talked the Least of All Episodes.
Hey, I have no social media
presence whatsoever.
You can barely add to the
presence. I
conversation.
can't give you advice other than go talk to somebody that does it.
Gary, before we leave, you are wearing an LA Dodgers hat?
Murdered out, blacked out.
It's actually my son's hat that just was like, oh, is there a clean hat?
Well, that answers the question, because I was just like, I don't recall you liking baseball, and I don't ever recall hearing you talk about the Dodgers.
Yeah, I don't like baseball or LA, so, but either.
Okay. All right. My apologies to our West Coast listeners.
Sorry about that.
I mean, I like people in LA, probably.
Yeah. We've known some people out there, and they were great. All right. I got nothing else for us. I'm about to eat a burnt grilled cheese sandwich.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy.
Oh, well. All right. Thanks for listening to the pod. Hey, like and subscribe. I don't know if that is even a thing anymore. What you can do is leave us a review. Smash that like button. No, you can leave us a review or share the podcast, and that really helps. We really appreciate it. We're coming up on episode 50, and we'll think of something fun to do. I don't know what it'll be. But we love you guys.
Thanks for listening. Love you all.
Okay. Goodbye.
See you.